Your nature itself is true God. Grace is not different from God. God's nature itself is grace.
It is good to say, love is God, rather than, God is love. It is good to say, truth is God, rather than, God is truth.
God is ever independent. He need not reveal himself by your mere desire. Instead, God should desire to reveal himself. God himself makes all the efforts if your goal is God alone. Shiva is not revealed to them who are impure.
God is much nearer to you than your body, mind, intellect, and senses. Your relationship with your body is temporary, but with God, it is permanent. God is your true residence.
God's grace is always available, but your tendencies obstruct its experience. God's grace showers upon those who don't lose faith till their last breath.
By the remembrance of God, your heart is widened, your mind is purified, your intellect becomes subtle, and your discrimination grows. A discriminating person can only differentiate between self and non-self.
God is never poor but is ever prosperous. He is not looking for your flowers. He is waiting for the day when you will gift your ego and surrender yourselves so he can liberate you.
God's grace is invisible to your eyes. It comes secretly, quickly, firmly, and seriously without the knowledge of your mind, body, senses, and intellect. If you can bear that grace, it can transform all the ignorance accompanying you from countless births into ashes.
If God is willing, you will be purified within a second. Otherwise, it may take several births of your efforts to achieve the same. Impossible may exist for you, but not for God.
Only God possesses the strength to throw out the big stone, the ego, within you. God is independent. God alone decides when, where, and how he has to come.
Digambara is one of God's names. Digambara doesn't mean that he is naked but implies that he has transcended body consciousness and overcome all limitations. Every jnani is a Digambara. Wise people do not restrict God to a body or an idol.
You cannot remember God unless God remembers you. You won't even get a thought to know God. If a strong desire to know the truth is arising in you, it implies you have God's grace.
God looks at the intention of your heart with which you work. The magnitude of your work does not carry him away. God is revealed only to those who are pure at heart.
Whatever happens, whether you like it or not, is by God's will, not your will. Only God knows when, where, and why he unites or separates two people.
My dear friends, you may design many plans, but whatever happens is God's will alone. If you stop thinking about yourselves, God starts thinking about you. God's grace is more powerful than the body's destiny.
God reveals himself only to those who offer the flower, namely ego, at his feet. God's grace showers upon you if your faith in God's existence is as stable as a lamp in a windless place.
If you remember God, he introverts your mind. When the Atma Rama within you reveals himself, you will not like to open your eyes and see the Dasaratha Rama even if he stands before you.
You will not have faith in God's existence until and unless you have the strength of merit and God's grace.
God never forgives those who don't try for liberation, even after getting a human birth. He punishes them by giving them another body. Spend at least the time you spend for your honor or money in God's remembrance. Then God reveals himself.
A person may deceive another person but not God. God knows the thought you will get even before you know it. If we stop asking God for unnecessary things, He will give us whatever we require.
God's love for you is much greater than a mother's love for her child. If you can take one step toward Him, He is waiting to take 10 steps toward you. Love God only for God's sake, not for worldly attainments.
Whatever needs to happen will undoubtedly happen. When there is self-effort, God's grace will certainly come. Self-effort, ripeness of time, and God's grace are all equally important to reaching your goal.
We have 3 bodies. 1, a gross body that is visible to us. 2, a subtle body in the form of a mind filled with likes and dislikes. 3, a causal body in the form of ignorance that accompanies us throughout our births. God's grace alone can burn down the causal body to ashes.
How many friends or relatives do you have who wholeheartedly desire your welfare? How can they desire your liberation who don't even want your progress? Is there anyone who loves you more than God?
You might have cried and filled up innumerable pots with tears since your birth. But is there at least a drop of tear that came out for God's sake?
When you can compromise for bodily comforts in day-to-day life, can't you compromise to attain God? When you can compromise with people, can't you compromise with God?
Don't you know whether you worship Shiva or Shava? For those who have no other refuge, God becomes their sole refuge.
Compassionate hearts are the residence of knowledge. Does your heart know the meaning of compassion? Christ said, "Compassionate hearts are the residence of God." You may possess millions of currency externally, but God will shower His grace if you lead a simple life internally.
The essence of Dharma is compassion for Jiva and love for God. This is the essence of all religions. Can't you see Shiva in the Jiva?
One who questions the existence of God is false, but God is truth. My dear friends, when you cannot judge or gauge the visible people, how can you judge or gauge the invisible God? God shines in the hearts of people who don't believe in the existence of God. Such is God's glory.
In a drama, the action is essential, not the role. God never gets carried away by your wealth or pomp and show. God gifts His grace to those who gracefully accept their body's destiny and lead a pure life. You possess everything if you have God's grace.
Devotion is generated from the yearning for God and not out of wealth. You will attain jnana if you are within God's control, resembling the dry twigs that move in the same direction as the wind and are within the control of the wind.
It is the beast-like tendencies within us that are obstructing our liberation. You can get Pashupati's vision only if you eliminate these tendencies. Everyone prays to God only for the sake of happiness. But why do you need God when you become that happiness itself?
My dear friends, don't become proud by thinking that you are coming here and listening to my words with utter attention. You can't come here without God's will. You can remember God only because God is remembering you. Without God's grace, you can't have bhakti or even look in this direction.
Many of you request me to show you God. But how can such God be true? Who he is separate or different from you? Even if he is visible, how do you see him? Isn't it with your eyes? When your body itself is false, how can your eyes, which are a part of your body, be true? And how can that God visible to your eyes be true?
Even if God is visible, how long will he stay with you? Even if he stays with you, can you eliminate your ignorance? When your ignorance doesn't perish, what is the use of such a visible God? If the God visible to you is true, why can't you get rid of your sorrow?
What is the use if great doctors treat you, but your disease remains uncured? My dear friends, even the gods are false. They are illusions of your mind. Illusion is inevitable as long as the mind exists. Only the self is truth, and you are that.
Everything else is false except for you. Therefore, know yourself. Even the gods you worship are dependent upon the self within you.
असंगोऽहम् 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 पुनः पुनः सच्चिदानन्दरूपोऽहम् अहमेवाहमव्ययः